Welcome to the 11th grade Smarter Balanced Performance Task Introduction. This classroom activity will introduce you to a performance task so you are not disadvantaged in demonstrating the skills the task intends to assess. Before we begin, you will need paper and a writing tool. The goal of this introduction is to help you understand the vocabulary and key ideas related to the topic of the classroom activity. Please listen carefully. The key ideas are roof construction and steps and considerations involved in constructing a roof or roof truss. You need to understand the following vocabulary. Plywood, a strong, flat board. Traditionally, plywood is made in 4-foot by 8-foot sheets with varying thicknesses. Roof truss, a rigid frame designed to support the weight of a roof. Roof frame, the network of roof trusses used to support a roof covering. Roof pitch, the steepness of a roof. Roof decking, the surface, usually plywood, used to cover the roof frame. Various names for the wood used to construct trusses: beam, brace, cord, joist, lumber, post, rafter, strut, web member. This video will display pictures to help you understand these vocabulary words. Today we are going to discuss roof construction to prepare for the roof rehab performance task. Imagine that you and several classmates have volunteered to help build roofs for several homes. To get ready for this task, you will learn about the vocabulary and concepts needed in your new role as a volunteer roofer. This figure shows 3 houses. The roof of each house has a different level of steepness or pitch. The 2 halves of the roof come together at different angles because of the different levels of steepness. The 2 halves of the first roof create an angle that is about 110 degrees. The 2 halves of the second roof create an angle that is about 75 degrees. The 2 halves of the third roof create an angle that is about 160 degrees. Roofs come in all shapes and sizes. Why do some roofs seem very steep and others seem very flat? The steepness of a roof is called the roof's pitch. What is the term in math that we use to define steepness? Pitch is really just another word for slope. This figure shows a building with a partially constructed roof. There are long pieces of wood nailed together in the shape of triangles. These triangles are evenly spaced on the top of the building, and they form the frame for the roof. What do you notice about the shape of the roof? Please write down your answer. You might have written, the top pieces are triangular, the top pieces are evenly spaced, and the building is rectangular. Do you know what these triangular sections in the roof are called? Each triangular section is called a roof truss. Each roof needs several roof trusses. All of the roof trusses together form the roof frame. Why is it important to have several roof trusses in a roof frame? You might have said, to keep the roof from sagging, to make the roof strong, and to support the weight of the roof. The pieces of wood that make up the roof trusses are called by many different names. Do you know the names? Please make a list of the names that you know. You might have written down beam, brace, cord, joist, lumber, post, rafter, strut, or web member. The wood used in building roofs is called by many different names. For this performance task, you do not need to know all the different names. You only need to know that all these names refer to the pieces of wood that form a roof truss. This figure shows a rectangular building with a roof frame on the top. A line is drawn across the top of the triangular-shaped trusses along the peak of the roof. This line is labeled the ridge line. The ridge line of the roof is along the top of all the trusses. Why do you think it is called the ridge line? Please make a note of your answer. You might have written down that it is the peak of the roof, and a ridge is the top of a mountain, and this is the top of the house. There are many different roof truss designs. This figure shows two sample roof trusses. Each truss is a large triangle with extra struts inside it to create more support for the roof. The extra struts create two different designs in the two triangles. The first truss has 4 struts inside, creating 5 smaller triangles. The second truss has 3 vertical struts inside, creating a symmetrical pattern with a triangle and a trapezoid on each side. There are short vertical lines underneath and at the outer edges of the triangular trusses. These represent where the trusses are attached to the walls of the building. Does anyone know the specific names of any roof truss designs? Please write your answers down. You might have written bowstring, cantilever, double cantilever, hip, king post, queen post, scissors, or vault. Each of these is constructed with a different design. For this performance task, you do not need to know the differences. You only need to know that there are different names for different types of trusses. This figure has several triangular trusses evenly spaced to form the frame of the roof. This frame is partially covered by flat rectangular pieces of wood. Once the frame is built, plywood is nailed down to cover it. Plywood is a strong, flat board. It usually comes in 4 4-foot by 8-foot pieces. When plywood is used to cover a roof frame, it is called decking. Once the decking is on the frame, the roofing material is added to finish the roof. What information might be necessary in order to build a roof? Please make a note of your answers. You might have written down which type of truss, the steepness of the roof pitch, and the dimensions of the building. You are now ready to complete the roof rehab performance task. Thank you for watching the Smarter Balance Performance Task Introduction video. Please see your supervising teacher for testing days and times. All 11th graders will be tested in the computer lab.